What's happening?
Hello.
Good.
Good. It's so glad to meet you. Tammy. I've obviously been talking to you for a few months now about setting an interview up. So I'm glad we're able to do it now with Mitch as well. Season 1, season 2 of The Circle on Netflix, one of my favorite shows. I watched season 1 in October, and then I watched season 2 the second it came out, basically. So
Let's go. Appreciate
so
that,
good.
Eva.
It's addicting,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, and it's truly a family affair for you. You know, you make
Literally.
Yes.
Literally.
So, do you have any other sons or daughters to have for?
No, I know.
Are
I'm
you
running
out?
out of like sons. Look, we had to have my mom did a little promo.
Yeah, we had
piece.
grandma on Netflix.
We had my mom. She gave a little shout out to Mitchell because she misses him dearly. But no, I think some cousins. Maybe I'll get some cousins start recruiting.
Yeah, it's like our whole internal. What's it called? Type of family. Like we have to go into the extended. So what's our immediate? It's our whole immediate family.
Immediate family.
Aside from dad, maybe if dad wants to make a surprise appearance.
He's too quiet. He's shy.
No, well, the thing about The Circle is there's so many different personalities, but yeah, I guess at the end of the day, like everyone, even if you were quiet, you couldn't necessarily be shy because you needed to have those group chats and all that stuff and all the strategies. And I was actually reading up on one of your interviews, Mitchell, and I was very surprised to hear that, Tammy, you didn't really give him any advice. So I'm wondering if that's because either of you kind of knew season 2 would be slightly different, just because you could almost study season 1 and it's going to be different. People are going to come in with different strategies. So was it the type of thing like your advice might not necessarily help because it's literally an entire different game?
The only thing I told him to be his true authentic self, like in the world would love him. That was like all the advice I gave.
Well, I wasn't lying. I had a couple other interviews and they asked like what insider information you gave me. And I was like, you dropped the gameplay and went into the mom car, which I love. And you were just like, be yourself. They're going to love you. And I was like,
love you. You know,
thanks, Mom. But how do I win this Spare King show?
I know.
There wasn't insider information here. It was just all whatever you'd expect a mom to say is exactly what my mom said.
Yeah, because he has the personality, he has the energy, he has the vibe. Like, what else could I tell him?
Thanks, Mom.
Exactly. No, you really do. I was annoyed when you were eliminated. So I'm sorry for spoilers, although hopefully anyone who is watching this has already finished season 2. But if not, I'm sorry.
Major spoiler alerts going on here. So if you haven't finished watching The Circle season 2 or 1, you might want to log off before we spoil it right now.
Exactly. Yes. I made the mistake of finding out who won season 1 by accidentally Googling someone's age from the show, and then that popped up. So I've learned my lesson and I try not to ruin it for anyone else. But I also wanted to ask, how was it filming during a pandemic? And what I mean by that is, Tammy, you filmed before the pandemic, so you're kind of not used to, but like you kind of knew how to like keep yourself sane in a lockdown, and then you got to film in the pandemic when you really couldn't go anywhere anyway. So how was that pandemic?
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely an extra like quarantine time. So I know you said you were kind of going stir crazy, just like being like locked in an apartment practically for that long. Like here's the thing too. I said in another interview that like we're locked in there. Like technically you're not locked in the apartment. Like you can go to the gym, they let you have some rooftop access. But on top of the whole filming time frame, we had a 2-week bonus quarantine because of the COVID regulations that are in place and the world we're living in now. So before we even started filming, I was literally locked in an apartment. As per the government's rules, they wouldn't let us leave for any reason, even exercise. So I was definitely going stir crazy for those 2 weeks. And then like filming the show almost felt like a little bit of a breath of fresh air, even though I couldn't go out into the real world. They're like, okay, we'll get you some gym time. You go up to the roof, have your coffee. So it was not bad for me because I'm a typically like introvert homebody. I know it kind of sounds backwards, but I like my time like by myself.
Quiet time. Like when Eddie and I were there, it was 2019 because then it came out in 2020. So we weren't there during the quarantine. So we got to see a little bit of the country. Of course, we couldn't roam free. We had chaperones like take us everywhere, but we were allowed to leave and see the UK. Mitchell didn't see anything. I felt so bad for him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, the world's slowly opening up, so maybe you'll have to go back.
See.
Or maybe you'll come back for season 3. I've always wondered if they'll ever bring a previous contestant back, like an all-star contestant.
I know.
That would be
think-
cool. I'm rooting for it. We're getting
Yeah.
a lot of like Twitter comments and stuff about bring all the seasons together in one. Like, I'm here for it. I'm
Yeah.
fucking down.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or people keep saying, well, why don't Tammy and Eddie and Mitch all come back as a trifecta? Like put us in as one
Oh, that
player.
would be
Maybe we could
good.
catfish as somebody. I don't know. We'll see.
No, you can't catfish anyone. Although I guess you kind of have to, because if you came back, people would know, or they would think you're being a catfish. Like someone's catfishing as you. But no, season 2 had a lot of twists and turns that I wasn't expecting. I guess I just kind of assumed that it was gonna be. Go ahead. Hi, my roomie's making a cameo. But I guess I just kind of expected that it would follow the same format, but then
Yeah. Like
with
we didn't have the Joker. Like,
yeah, I was
we didn't
like,
have,
what is
yeah.
going on?
Yeah, and
Um,
even me too. Like I went in it just obviously I saw season 1, went in it pretty blindly, but I just was like, I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna be my best self, I'm gonna have a good time, I'm gonna have fun, I'm gonna be in the moment, enjoy this experience. And like I had a blast my whole time. Like
Mhm.
you'll see me like throughout the whole show, like just learning new recipes, cooking. Like I'm in
Playing
there like
guitar.
zenned out, meditating. I'm learning to play guitar. Like I was just vibing out. And then like I saw the show back, and all these other players are like, okay, strategy is this. We're gonna cut this person. We're gonna do this. And I was like, wow, like I was in my own world during all of filming. So I definitely was not expecting the twists and turns as well. And obviously going into filming or even just watching it back as a viewer was pretty funny.
Yeah, yeah. And I got to watch as a fan this time, which was
Oh,
so
it's
weird,
cute.
to sit on my couch and watch as a fan was so different. And to have my son.
Hey.
Yeah, and then they have like blocked players. When we were blocked, like you went home. That was it.
Yeah.
You packed your suitcase. Season 2, they had comeback. So it was definitely a little different game for season 2.
Yeah, and I liked it. I mean, obviously season 1 worked, and I was expecting it to be just like season 1 because that formula
Right.
works for reality TV on Netflix. But yeah, season 2 definitely had those twists and turns. And I don't know, I'm sure it sounds like you keep up on Twitter and Instagram with what people are saying. I know a lot of people were saying that, season 1 was like clearly about friendships and all this, and season 2 was more about strategy in a game, which that's fine. I mean, you are trying to win 100 grand, so like I get
Yep.
it. But I'm wondering if that was part of if your strategy, Mitchell, was kind of like you said, not having a strategy and just following in your
Yeah, like that was it. Like I did not go in there. Like I remember even going into the show, they kept asking me, what's your strategy? What's your game plan? I was like, look, like I spent my whole life studying psychology, studying sales, just being sales my whole life. I ran my own company. So I said, I've kind of unaware been priming and practicing for this my whole life. Like I know how to talk to people and build relationships. And that's really it. Like I'm just going to be my best self and build relationships, gain people's trust and win the game. Whereas other people had like 30 bullet point list strategies. I was like, wow, like people came to freaking play,
Yeah, I would never have been able to do that because I guess I want to keep the the fun spirit, and I would just be myself like all the way through, which is what you all did, and which I loved. And I thought it was so funny, Tammy, when you and Ed went to go visit Sammy, but only Ed came in, and then you like followed. I was like, that is brilliant. I was like,
that was funny.
Yeah, that was great. And maybe you've answered this and I just couldn't find it, but obviously the way they kind of explained why you were on the show is because everyone can bring one thing, like Joey brought a skincare or whatever. So was it Ed's idea to be like, can I bring my mom, or how did that work?
No. So apparently in 2019, I'll give you the real story.
Yes.
They
Oh,
came,
exclusive.
this is very fun. They actually came after Mitchell on Instagram. Like we never woke up and said we want to be on a reality show. So in 2019, they found Mitchell on Instagram. Mitchell was already interviewing for another show called.
Well, I don't know if we could say. Well, it doesn't really matter. I never went on it, but also too, they did pitch me on the show. Like it was like the pilot or like the UK version. Like, hey, we're casting for this show. We think you'd be a great fit. And I remember looking at it, and I literally, I think it was from Holly actually.
Yeah.
And she sent me this like YouTube pilot, and I was like, look, that looks like the dumbest show. Like I don't want to be a part of it.
I read about this. You were like, I am not doing this.
Yeah, and then like long story short, I actually declined it. I was like, I don't even want to apply. Thank you, no thank you. And then my mom and brother call me and we're like, hey, we're going to go film this new reality show that's coming.
Well,
I was like, what?
We had to like try
go through
out.
casting, yeah.
COVID wasn't around then in 2019. So you had live auditions. So they came after Eddie. So Eddie went to Philadelphia. He did his auditions and they asked him about his mom and dad. And he's like, oh, my mom's batshit crazy. She's so funny.
You are not.
So, yeah. So then they call me and they're like, Tammy, Eddie talks about you. We just want to meet you. So the next day I go down to Philly. They mic me up and I'm thinking I'm talking about Eddie. So I'm just, giving all the praise to Eddie. So then they start asking me questions about the game, the show. I was clueless. So I just started telling stories about my sons. And they're like, you are so funny. They're like, we really love you too. And but they said, we can't have two Easons on the show. And I'm like, listen, like I'm old, put Eddie on the show. I don't need to be on the show. I said, but unless you pitch it to Netflix, if we can play as a team. And they're like, Tammy, nobody's played as a team. We'll ask for you, but I doubt it's going to fly. Well, after I opened up my big mouth, the next day they called and said, Tammy, they went for your idea. And I'm like, oh my God, I didn't think they were doing it. I don't want to be on. No, I don't want to do it.
No, I was kidding.
No,
it was just an idea.
I never thought they were going to be on it. I didn't want my life out there. And they're like, the casting people are like, Tammy, you're the one with the idea. You got to do it now. So she talked me off the ledge and I ended up, that's how I got on the show. Not that he wanted to intentionally bring his mom, but I thought it was just going to be him until she pitched us for a team.
That's amazing. That is such a great story. And obviously I love, cause a lot of the, people got messages from home. So I'm sure it was very special that you were there with Eddie so that,
yeah, you're there the whole time. There was no message from home. He brought home.
Yeah, exactly. But I will say, and I think Miranda's touched on this, so I don't think it's like private info, but, obviously it seems just based on the past two winners that you do have an advantage if you're one of the starting players. So you cannot choose that though. That's like random, right?
Yeah, it's part of, I guess, just how they make the show and like the executive decision who goes in when.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it is tougher. I mean, we both kind of went in pretty late.
Yeah.
But I feel like we went in there and tried our best, and obviously neither of us took home the gold, but we were able to establish some good relationships still, even though maybe the other players had some more time to kind of connect on other projects or other games or, other conversations that we obviously weren't a part of. Mm-hmm. But I'd say we gave it our best shot.
Yeah, like we went episode 8. He came in a little earlier, 5, but like you said, once they had that bond as the OGs, it's really hard. But I feel we made an impact. Yeah. Maybe 3 or 4 shows.
I had my trifecta.
Yeah.
Yeah, just as an additive. Now looking back from the last question, like I said, they called them and we're just like, oh, you guys are on. And then Eddie and my mom called me like, we're gonna go film this show. And I was like, that terrible idea. Like, get off that fucking show. And then, long story short, like, you film it, whatever, it comes out. And I remember, like, watching it. I was like, holy frick. Like, this show is honestly gold. And it's ahead of its time because it aired right before COVID really hit, like last January. And it was so interesting to see that dynamic unfold as everybody in the world was now basically in the circle themselves, trapped in their house, on social media, talking in group chats. So definitely sold me on the circle once I was able to watch it back.
Yes. And I mean, I'll be honest, my friend had told me about it back when it first aired in like January, and I was like, okay, yeah, that sounds like I have other shows I want to watch.
Great. Yeah.
What happened was I'm the biggest fan of Catfish, so I went to go watch Catfish with my mom, and it wasn't on. And I said, Mom, there's this show that my friend John recommended. It's kind of like the Catfish. It's called The Circle. Hooked. Finished it in like 3 days.
So funny.
And the thing too is like the idea, if you were to say to someone, just because it's kind of hard to explain, like I understand it can seem shallow or like, oh, it's a popularity contest, which yes it is, but there's so many layers. And you said you studied psychology. For me, I watch it and I observe, and I feel like there's many different ways as a viewer how you can take it in. So yeah.
There was definitely some depth. Like I didn't expect it to get like, I feel like especially our season 2, like towards the end, like I opened up. I know a lot of other players opened up about what they do with the money. Me and Chloe had such a great conversation, like one-on-one. Like there was a lot of like, as much as it was fake and popularity contests, and like you even see some behind the scenes. Like I was talking to Courtney and River, and I'm like, they're not giving me a freaking straight answer. And I know they're behind the scenes when I was watching it back, like, this freaking guy, Mitchell, better stop. And you can kind of sense that in the game, like, all right, like, I know this person clearly doesn't like me. They're just not telling me to my face. But then there was still like some real raw moments that, you know, you throw the game aside, you throw the whole show aside. It's like, wow, that's just like people connecting, you know, no matter how you look at it. So it got interesting how deep some of it did get, like in terms of real life.
For sure. And it's very, I mean, I feel like as humans, we're just, voyeuristic, I believe is the word. Like we like to be a part of other people's lives and kind of look
Yeah.
in. And so the circle is such a great way to do that.
Yeah.
And I did want to ask, and maybe you're only here, Tammy, for Mother's Day, but you're in LA. Is it for any particular project, anything fun, or just
New show coming soon?
Not for me. You know what? We had like a little watch party out here where we got season 1 and season 2 we're invited to. So I'm like, what the heck? You know what? I was just here a couple weeks ago. I'll come back for the party. We got to meet Lance, great guy, so
He's
humble,
so nice.
down to earth. So we went to his place Thursday night, and I'm like, no, Mother's Day's, you know, Sunday, I might as well stay. So we did a nice hike. So
yeah,
well, I mean, we have some things in the works, but not specifically me. But don't forget the Eason name.
Oh, yes. It's so funny. I went to Rocco's yesterday for a drag show, so I missed you guys.
That's so funny. You're just there, yeah.
I know. I love the West Hollywood bars. I think they're so fun and just great nightlife. And I'm glad it's opening back up finally. So.
Slowly but surely we're getting there, yeah.
Yeah, slowly. So have you I saw like on your social media a few like fans recognized you at Rocco's. Any like touching moments you had, or was it kind of, you know, quick, just like hi, bye?
You know what? There was actually a guy from Philly. And out in LA, and he's like, oh my God, everybody back home is going to be so jealous. I'm hanging with you guys. So we did a quick little, you know, video to the hometown Philly.
Oh, that's cute. That's pretty good.
I'd say it is cool. They're just hearing people. Like I'm getting a ton of DMs. I see some people that I meet like in person, obviously fans and viewers of the show and stuff. And they're definitely like some real heartfelt moments that they're like seeing all this positivity in me or saying how much they love me on the show for just, you know, being myself, owning my truths and, you know, all these beautiful messages. I'm like, wow, like it's so cool to see just me being me is somehow positively affecting other people's lives. Like that's amazing, obviously, to hear.
And my DMs are, regardless, hey, it would have been great to win the money. But as a mom, I have been so touched by people DMing me, say, Tammy, you did a great job with your sons. You know, I have a teenager. Do you have any advice? Like they're humble, they're compassionate, they're kind. And I'm like, listen, you know what? We just have a bond that we just built on trust. Like he's my angel, you know? So just getting those nice messages, it makes me feel proud that I've done my job. I feel very proud of them both.
You're a good mommy.
Yeah, for sure. And I also just want to say, it's very hard with most like social media influencers to get a hold of them. And literally everyone I've interviewed from the circle says my DMs are open. So sounds like yours are too. Like, I know it's like hard to respond, but the fact that you even check them, like, I know that means the world to all the people that.
I really do try to get back to every single comment, DM across Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. And here's the thing though, it is tough. I actually released my freaking personal number. I don't know if that was the smartest thing or the dumbest thing I've done. On my Instagram. So I'm getting like, I have like over 3,000 unread texts right now. I'm trying to get back to, but I see them all. Like I see every single comment, DM, and I try to get back, but like, I don't, you know, I'm only one person. There's only so much my hands can type in a day. And it's such a good problem. I'm overwhelmed with so many beautiful people trying to reach out every day.
Yeah. Like the second day I was here, he literally was on his phone for like 6 hours. And I knew coming this trip was going to be work. Like I wanted to go to the party on Mother's Day. So I understand because he was just, I mean, he types really fast, much faster than me trying to get back. So I just occupied myself. But a lot of the people start, if he doesn't respond, and I went to this with Eddie, everybody's coming in to mom. Hey, can you get me a date with Mitchell? Hey, Eddie's so hot. I want to be your daughter-in-law. Listen, ladies, I cannot get you a date with my sons. You know, like Mitchell's so focused on work and his career and stuff like that. But for the, you know, very nice messages. They want to be my daughter-in-law, or, you know, is he really 22? I can confirm with his birth certificate. He's really 22. I get that question all the time.
I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sometimes with the beard, now he looks a little younger again. But people think he's like 28, 27 years old. But now I get that message all the time. So he's definitely 22.
Yeah, I thought you were the older one, actually. So
that's my brother.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm 24 and I look about 12, so I have the opposite.
Yeah, wow.
problem.
We're
People
close,
come,
yeah.
yeah, people come to my parents and they're like, "You sure your daughter can drink?" And I'm like, "Yes, my ID is not fake. Like, I don't have time to do that, and I don't want to. Like, it is real." So I get it, but on the opposite end of the spectrum, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you both so much. I know you gotta get to dinner. Are you just going together? Just a fun little Mother's Day dinner?
Yeah, it's just gonna be me and her. Like, we spent some
Oh.
quality time today. We did a nice little brunch today. I cooked up some bacon, egg, and cheeses.
Yes, he did.
Were
He
they?
did. Yeah.
Let everybody know how dangerous of a
That
chef
was
I
very
am.
good brunch. We missed brunch, so he made up for it. But he's just been working nonstop. He has so many things coming out. I don't know if you're allowed to talk to. Like yesterday, he did a photo shoot.
Yeah, I
For
went
like,
live with it. My merch, I'm coming out
with
with
his
Fair Kit
merchandise.
merch, and it's
So-
a great day to be
So he
great.
put me in a hoodie. I might be one of his models. We'll
You
see
are
if
one
I
of the models,
if
Mom.
I make the cut on the website. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Oh, if she's not on the website, I will not buy one. So.
No, facts. She's gonna be front and center.
And I know you want me to buy one, so.
Oh, we could use all the support, honestly. So, but it's been good having my mom here. And like she said, we've been trying to kind of balance the craziness with work, interviews, getting back to everybody with obviously spending quality time. Like at the end of the day, we're still normal human beings and trying to fit that in. But it's been cool. I'm super excited about the future, what it's going to hold. Like my mom said, my merch project, I got another business I'm working on building coming soon. Yeah, it's going to be like an exclusive content based website for myself. So we got a lot of stuff in the works. I'm super excited about that. I actually really haven't said anything publicly just yet, aside from yesterday about my merch. Yeah.
Wow, so I got the exclusive. Like
you're getting the
I
exclusive.
got a bunch of exclusive stuff. I feel so special. Do you want to plug like where the merch will live? Is it going to be on your website? Is it going to be like, do you know like the URL, any of that stuff? And Twitter?
Yeah, we have it all. We're honestly finalizing the site. So I have it just private right now so it doesn't get flooded with like a half bit. Well, we just are getting through the pictures, editing. We just got back from the photographer. But yeah, it's going to be everywhere on my Instagram. I'll be doing a link in my bio, a swipe up. So honestly, if you have me on Instagram at Mitchell Eason, I'll be talking about everything, my inner circle, my merch, everything that's coming out soon for sure.
Perfect. And Tammy, do you want to promote your Instagram as well? You're so good at replying, by the way. Like I DM'd you so long ago. You replied it in like that. I was like,
I know,
yes.
I know. Hopefully people can find me. Mine's just very easy, Tammy Eason 12. But yeah, I get a lot of fan mail from both of my sons and just great comments about, what a great family we are and the bond that we have. Like a lot of people, like I feel very blessed, don't have a great family situation or friends of support. And we really do support. I can call Mitchell at 1:00 in the morning crying and he will answer my phone call.
Mom.
Like seriously, he's just, when I said he's an angel on earth, he really is my angel on earth. So it's good to have a son and also a friend.
Amen, Mommy.
Yes. Those make for the best family dynamics. So
yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you again so much. I'd love when it's safe, we can do some type of follow-up interview in person. Maybe just, promote all your merch then. I'll even wear some. I'll have some by then. As long as your mom's on the website. We'll definitely
there. And hopefully Eddie will be back in town. He's out off-site doing another project, but hopefully we can get him out to LA because everybody keeps asking about Ed. So maybe next interview we'll get Ed out.
Oh yes, like all three. That would be perfect.
All three, yeah.
Game on.
I would love that. And then anyone else you have in your family on season 3, they can also.
Oh yeah, right.
We'll let you know. Stay tuned. We're
thinking about sending Mom in for the win. We can't get a win, man.
I think she'd take it. I do think
she would. Yeah, they would love her.
Well, thank you again. Happy
Thank
Mother's
you.
Day. I'm so glad we finally got to do this and have a nice little chat.
No, it's been unreal. Thank you so much for making this happen.
Thank you.
Of course. Have a great night.
Thanks, you
Bye-bye.
too.
Bye.
Bye.